The UK Timeout on Radio Biafra, bringing news beats from across the United Kingdom, incisive analysis by the People's Parliament. Our panel dissects the topics of the week, and listeners interact.
Also featuring great Biafran history, education, awareness, and enlightenment, plus entertainment galore.
Tune in to the UK Timeout on Radio Biafra, Sundays from 7:30 p.m. Biafran time and British Summer Time. Set out for a fabulous week ahead with the UK Timeout on Radio Biafra. News, views, previews, and reviews. Join us.
Good evening here. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to the UK Timeout on Radio Biafra. I am Ikechukwu Naisumokoro Ichie Mwachinemere, your host. I hail from Onitsha, Ezinite, Were Province, Biafra land, and I serve my beloved Biafrans as the IPOB United Kingdom National Coordinator. On this program, we always start with a word of prayer in the language of heaven. Chukwukikada mapuri mihenine eze bi n'elu ọgọdọ ya na-akpọ n'ala, anyị bụ ụmụ ndị nke kere n'oyiyi gị abịakwala ọzọ taa ụbọchị nkwọ Bibuli aha nsọ gị elu, nye gị otuto na nsọpụrụ pụrụ iche nke ruru gị. Anyị ayọọ gị mgbaghara mmehie ọzọ ọbụla anyị na-esi na mmehie, n'ihi na anyị ahụ ụmụaka na-asụ ahụ n'afọ n'afọ. Gbaghara anyị, mere anyị ebere, mere anyị amara gị, nye anyị udo, nye anyị ịhụnanya, nye anyị ngọzi gị pụrụ iche. Lụrụ anyị ọgụ, gbuoro anyị ụzọ, kpuchiere anyị ebe ndị iro na-achụ anyị n'inyu anyị. Ekwela ka anya ha nweta anyị ma ọ hụ anyị aka ha kpara anyị, kama mee ka mmeri ọgụ nke anyị na-alụ, ọgụ nwere onwe bụrụ nke anyị. Onye ndu anyị, nwa gị nwoke Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, anyị rara ya tie n'ọba aka gị, kpesi ike na enwe ihe ọjọọ ọbụla ga-eme ya. Ụmụ nche anyị, ụmụ akwụkwọ anyị ndị ESN, anyị na-ararakwa tie n'ọba aka gị dịka ha na-eji ịrụ ọrụ pụrụ iche na ngwụcha afọ a. Anyị ma na ị ga-edu ha, chekwa ha, ịgbakwala ka ọkpụkpọ ha n'ụzọ ha niile. Anyị arara ụmụ Biafra niile, kachasị ụmụ IPOB nọ ebe n'ụlọ gbasọtụrụ tie n'ọba aka gị. Si eze, biko kpuchigide anyị niile. Anyị ma na ị ga-emezuru anyị karịa oke anyị yọkwara gị, site n'aha nwa gị nwoke nke m kwenyere, Yeshua HaMashiach. Ise 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 ise. Elulela aka m, elu n'ala lela aka m dịkwa ọcha. Lela aka anyị, elu n'ala lela aka anyị dịkwa ọcha. This bit is coming up right now.
Welcome to this week's news beat. I am Oge with Mazi Nonso. IPOB UK National Coordinator Chief Insecurity has expressed gratitude to all IPOB UK family members for their continued support to the ongoing ESN fundraising. Chief Mokoro posted an appreciation with gratitude message on IPOB UK Coordinator's platform, as well as spoke in a glowing light during last Friday's emergency cabinet meeting, which reviewed the IPOB UK end-of-year ESN fundraising event held on the 7th of December 2024 in London and online. The UK National Coordinator reminded all that the ESN fundraising remains a continuum, urging members to reach out to their contacts to encourage them to donate or make pledges, reassuring of accountability. The UK National Finance Officer, Sophia Kallo, equally thanked all the donors while praying for more donations. She promised to give regular updates as we try towards our targets. Other cabinet members took turns to give their assessments, highlighting the areas of improvement. Addressing the enlarged cabinet meeting, IPOB European Rep and a member of the DOS, Mazi Austin Abanyem, commended the UK leadership for her exemplary conduct and performances. He praised the UK National Coordinator's visionary and dynamic leadership, wondering where the UK family would have been if Chief Mokoro had not been appointed the UK National Coordinator in May 2022. Mazi Abanim stated that the UK have been reliably steadfast in answering the numerous calls to duty in diverse facets and situations, particularly in taking care of the welfare of Umuakwukwo as well as Onyendu's immediate family. He encouraged the UK family to keep up the good work while praying Chukwu Okike-Abiama to provide for our members and their contacts to continue to fund the ESN and other strategic projects of the IPOB global movement. Mazi Abanim hinted that the DOS is doing a lot of great things whose fruits we will.
IPOB UK are poised to embrace transformational changes in the new year in a bid to rekindle membership drive. Active participation activate necessary revival reforms that would make the movement in UK more fit for purpose. Revealing this stoic stance to enlarge cabinet with European rep in attendance, IPOB UK National Coordinator Chief Ikechukwu Nwaokolo stated that it is imperative that members, particularly principal officers, stay switched on and on side as the quest for restoration of Biafra assumes a new dimension in the incoming year. Chief Nwaokolo noted that some officers have been called redundant, leaving only a few to toil in the onerous task of maintaining the momentum set by the current UK leadership. Other cabinet members who spoke during the meeting identified some attitude such as insubordination to the hierarchy, undermining the principles of commander control, and profiling personal excuses in preference to duty call as tendencies that negate the spirit of our movement, thereby demoralizing those who are genuinely committed. Majority of the cabinet members in attendance adopted that any non-performing, underperforming officers and zones will be revamped or replaced, urging the European rep to fully back the national coordinator, who have been doing a fantastic job to implement desired changes within UK family. The UKNC subsequently announced a 5-man cabinet advisory committee to advise him on the best approach in implementing the changes. Promising to take their advice into full consideration, in making a proposition to our leadership via the European rep, Mazi Austin Abayim. The Cabinet Committee, co-chaired by Mazi Ichie Obianyo and Mazi Mike Wajago, also has Mazi Ikechi Eze, Mazi Chukwuemeka Wokorobia and Mazi Ikenna Njoko as members. They have been given 2 weeks to submit their recommendations as the UKNC pledged to set the steps in motion for the positive changes in New Year. Chief Wokoro thanked cabinet members for their dedication and support as he wished each and everyone a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance, maintaining that the movement must move forward in 2025 and beyond.
IPOB have revealed that 95% of the criminal elements terrorizing Igbo land, especially since Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and illegally detained, are from Ebonyi State, incentivized and weaponized by the state's former governor and presently Minister of Works, Dave Umahi. Revealing this during his landmark broadcast on Radio Biafra last night, IPOB DOS member and ESN Commander General Mazi Chinasa Nworu exposed how Umahi, in cohorts with his fellow former governor and now the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, as well as the sitting Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, are the masterminds of insecurity in the southeast. Mazi Nworu gave graphic details of how this worrisome threesome, in conjunction with the Greek pig Asari Dokubo and the other criminal gang leader Simon Ekpa, to perpetrate criminality and tag such acts on the IPOB and ESN. Mazi Nworu, who is also the IPOB Middle East rep, equally called out the World Igbo Congress in America as a recruitment agency for Igbo politicians to engage infiltrators into the Biafra restoration movement to discredit it, destroy her structure and turn Biafrans against IPOB leadership. Nworu emphasized that Umahi, Wike and Uzodinma used Onyendu's siblings, the crazy in-law, and even his lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, to demonize IPOB leadership and criminalize the agitation by covertly supporting their imposter planted in Piefin land. Mazi Nworu exposed that the zoo awarded Aloy Ejimako a contract with a total of 355 million naira paid to the Onyendu lawyer from September 2021 to September 2024 for agriculture employment, pointing out that the so-called Onyendu's current lead counsel is a dubious character who specializes in blackmailing innocent people. Nworu debunked the lies from the pit of hell that the DOS sold Onyendu, while reassuring that the IPOB worldwide have survived the worst and remain indestructible and resolute. IPOB will soon secure the release of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The social media videos circulating with Onyendu's siblings jubilating that he has been released is a hoax, a prank that is making a mockery of our leader and all of us. Kindly ignore the shameful drama.
IPOB have in the meantime encouraged our people to return home this Christmas and New Year season, guaranteeing Igbo of safe haven as ESN are working super hard to ensure their safety and security. In a press release signed by IPOB Press Media Publicity Secretary Emma Powerful, IPOB outlined the excellent job the ESN do in securing our land and protecting our people, reiterating that IPOB wants our people to return home and develop our ancestral homeland in spite of the man-made government-sponsored insecurity. IPOB have also warned the amorphous group that call themselves Igbo National Congress. They have been paid by Zoo government to minimize the cases IPOB brought before International Criminal Court, ICC. Mazi Chinasoworo, during his last night broadcast, issued this caution stating that IPOB intelligence units, the M branch, will investigate this notorious group through identity. He also sent a strong message to Ohaneze Ndibo that DOX will give Ohaneze a chance this time around to put things right and mend their ways. Yesterday, Ohaneze Ndibo, IPOB, elected Nze Ozichukwu, the new President General, to complete the tenure of Imo State following the death of Chief Iwayawu. Zechukwu will serve for only 3 weeks and then hand over on January 10, 2025 to substantive PG from River State. IPOB remind Ohaneze not to work against IPOB to avoid calamity, the individuals or group concerned.
Meanwhile, an Owerri High Court has granted popular freelance journalist and human rights activist Chinonso Oba, aka Nonso Nkwabel. It remains to be seen whether Hope Uzodinma and his rogue government will obey the court's order. Elsewhere, a Federal Capital Territory High Court, Abuja, has issued an interim injunction against Lagos-based lawyer Delefa Rotimi, restraining him and his representatives from publishing, selling or distributing his book, Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System. Mr. Farotimi, who was accused of defamation of character of Afe Babalola, was seen in court with handcuffs as a criminal, while the former Kogi governor Yahaya Bello, accused of stealing over 180 billion naira, walks around freely. Back to incessant insecurity in Alaibo. Ekperima criminal gangs going by the frontline name of Biafra Liberation Army attacked and abducted Biafran youths in Asia, Ihiala, and took them to Umbosi, also, where they asked them to buy bonds for them to destroy otherwise peaceful communities in Ihiala and also local government areas. In Ebony, residents of Akeze in Evo local government area were victims of another iniquitous act. Last week, a significant number of local farmers were killed by unidentified when they were ambushed on their farmland.
On the international scene, UK Shadow Prime Minister Kemi Badenoch continued to denounce the zoo and distance herself from the contraption. Kemi last week declared that she would rather identify as a Yoruba than a Nigerian, pointing out that she has nothing in common with northern Nigeria, thereby validating self-determination quest. The exacting Mazin Nandikano and IPOB have been saying for over a decade. In neighboring Niger Republic, the military government has suspended the BBC from their country for 3 months for spreading false news that jihadists attacked and killed 19 Nigerian soldiers last Wednesday. The West has been accused of fueling fundamental Islamist attack in Niger, where both Boko Haram and ISWAP have pitched their tents. Elsewhere, Finland-based agent provocateur Simon Ekpa remains in detention. Ekperima, arrested with his 4 accomplices, is at Chimolkoski Prison, Accra, Finland's most secure and equally their most notorious correctional facility, where he is sharing prison cell with hardened criminals and rapists. Whereas a gang of infiltrators are in disarray, fighting themselves over money contributed by unsuspecting Biafrans who have been deceived to believe Ekperima and Co. were fighting for Biafra restoration. The truth remains, these wolves in sheep clothing who are daily being exposed are not even remotely connected to the agitation for actualization of Biafra. Please stop supporting them and kindly return to Nnamdi Kanu 1 and only in indomitable IPOB. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned as the UK Time Out on Radio Biafra.
You follow in the marching if you hate Biafra, raise it. Yeah, you kill Biafra, but you have lost your ringing, and it's hard to find your ringing. Touch you in the land of the rally song, but we are the children of light, whiter and whiter than snow. One people, great in unity. Martin and the Kanu, yeah, and ESN. Just to know that we love you to the moon. Back to earth, our love will never end. BMI, our mic, is a gun. I see me query and you got now. Query me query and you got now. I think that for our tico, God, over the man aligning. Yeah, one day I see me query and you got now. So me query me query and you got now. I think that for our tico, God, over the man aligning. Yeah, you when they win, why you so I see me when they win. At the best now, at the best in the morning and the noon, at night like a fire, like a hammer every time. Now we are dead, what do we deserve? We all black hairs. Why the men in the killing, the hating now? At the birds, at the birds, at the birds. One day I see me query and you got now. Query me query and you got now. I think God for out the go. God for good on my life.
Ikwere anyị ga-ala, ikwere n'eziokwu anyị ga-ala. Biafra adigo, Biafra obodo ọma ala anyị. If you believe, we will go home. If you have faith, we will go home to our homeland, Biafra, because Biafra has come. Those are the lyrics of that beautiful song as I welcome all of us back to the UK Time Out on Radio Biafra. ESN marked her 4th anniversary last Thursday, the 12th of December. Biafrans worldwide, especially the IPOB family, thank Chukwu Kabiama for our gallant men and women who are sacrificing all to secure our land and protect our people in our homeland. The day after the ESN 4th anniversary, IPOB leadership, through a press release, vowed to make Biafra land safe and secure, especially this festive season, while encouraging returnee Biafrans desirous to come home to celebrate Christmas and New Year to exercise no fears or worries, as the ESN have been mandated to ensure a halt to the incessant insecurity and criminality ravaging our place. That indeed is a welcome development, as it is both reassuring and heartwarming. Today we continue to explore the excellent work of the Eastern Security Network, ESN, and why supporting IPOB and the ESN will surely help to bring an end to this man-made insecurity that has ravaged our naturally peaceful community. I'm very delighted to welcome back our last week's panel, and also, in addition, a very formidable marching AK here in the United Kingdom who have joined them. Ladies and gentlemen, or lady and gentlemen, I would say, on this occasion, Ezigbo Muchineke, please unmute yourselves and reintroduce yourselves to Biafrans and our wonderful listeners, beginning from all the way across the pond. Dr. Tina, please unmute.
Thank you very much, Chief Nice Nwokoro. It is my pleasure once more to be with you this afternoon.
You're most welcome, ma'am.
So I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, great Biafrans and IPOB worldwide. My name is Dr. Tina Eberechukwu. I am the same Ada Biafra from the heart of Biafra land, Olu province. And at the invitation of Chief Nice Nwokoro and the UK Timeout, I have joined them again today on the UK Timeout on Radio Biafra. But I must also use this opportunity to remind all Biafrans that though we are in different parts of the world, we are not in competition with each other. We are actually cooperating and working together with each other. That said, I must also recognize the leadership in the United States of America that allows me to come to Radio Biafra once in a while, and our national coordinator of IPOB ESN mobilization team, who is in charge of the United States of America with the mobilization committee, is none other than the formidable Mazi Alozi of Biafra. Biafrans, we owe this gallant man, Mazi Alozi, who is here on the radio always with us. We owe him a huge gratitude for his tireless work for the restoration of Biafra. They were Mazi Alozi for always being here, for directing IPOB USA towards the success of restoring Biafra. They were Mazi. It's nice.
Thank you for your generosity and appreciation. You hit the nail on the head. We are in collaboration, not competition. We are in cooperation, not discussion. So we from across the pond, all the way from the United States of America, we come down to the UK, to the Midlands. KJ, please unmute and introduce yourself to dear friends and our listeners.
Thank you very much, Chief Nice Nwokoro, my able leader. Mazi Afunwu KJ is from Isukwato, Odende, Biafra land. It's my pleasure to be among you, Umuchineke. It's a very great pleasure as well to use this opportunity to appreciate what our great leadership is doing, making sure that we keep educating our people, discussing and finding a way forward to our common issue, our common problem. Until we get there, we are not there yet. I'm so delighted that we can have people like our dear sister, Dr. Tina. I always feel happy when I hear your voice. Mazi always here. Thank you very much for all that you do for our people. I want to appreciate our brother, Mazi Ibe. I'm very sure that our people all over the world glued to their radio to listen today, and as well to participate, to call in and air their own view, so that we can together as one family, we shall find common solution to this very issue of our freedom. Freedom we must have, freedom we must get is our right. We are not apologetic about it. I believe. Before I forget, I want to appreciate Onye Nduma Nnamdi Kanu, who has made it possible that we have this platform. This platform is where we worship, and that is where we come to educate our people and let them understand the point we are, the next step, and what is going on around them. So Muchineke, I am so delighted to be among you, and may God continue to see us through. Thank
you, Mazi. So Afunwa Okeje is the zonal coordinator of our meeting Ken zone here in the West Midlands of United Kingdom. He's also a very formidable member of our national community engagement and mobilization team, amongst others. We'll move down further south of England.
Good evening, everyone. Chineke. My name is Mazi Ibeume Ichiezokubondo. Yeah, I'm from Ogu in Enugu province of Biafra land. I'm the coordinator in Brighton, Brighton Road. Let me start by saluting the gallant man, the man of wisdom, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whose voice we all heard and coagulated around him, tuning into his vision and his ideas of getting back our stolen sovereignty, which we shall get, because it belongs to us. It doesn't belong to anyone else. It belongs to us, and that's what we are doing. So we are here again once more to enlighten our people while gearing towards achieving that critical mass, because we need as many people as possible to be on this moving train in the quest for restoring our stolen sovereignty. And while we are doing this, we must not forget that the freedom of the many is always achieved by the bravery and the gallantry of the few. Yes, of course, everyone must not be there, but we need as many people as possible. So once more, I salute you, Mazi Nice, the able UK coordinator. Today, Dr. Tina, I welcome you again once more for being with us here today. Mazi Alozie, your work on Radio Biafra cannot be overemphasized. You are doing a marvelous job, and you're here with us again today. Afro brother, I thank you once more again for the great job we all are doing here, United Kingdom, under the umbrella of IPOB. Onye Nduma Nnamdi Kanu, we say, wherever you are, you know that we are here. I'm with you. We are not moving. I am again anywhere. We are here, waiting for you to come back, as well as all the Biafrans incarcerated across the zoo, wherever they are, that as you come out, they come out with you too, and we'll head straight to the sovereign state of Biafra. We say, get glued to your radio, as you do always, listen to us while we share the ideas, and you also share the ideas with us. Thank you. Thank you.
Chief Ichie Ezeokubondo, you've just prompted me to give a sneak preview to my, every January I launch a new slogan, our UK family. And this incoming year, by the special grace of Chukwu Kadana, our announcement for the first time is, we move and we shall not be moved. So are you patient?
Right.
I'm completely happy with you. That is what the Spirit led me to come up with just last weekend. So you have prompted it. I think you're in the spirit with me. That's exactly our slogan. And it's not just sloganism, it is activism. We move and we shall not be moved. Dr. Tina, once again, I must singularly appreciate you for your tireless efforts, love, care, dedication, and all the passion you have for our nation and our restoration. Thank you for coming up again. Let us start by recapping your wonderful submission, together with Maazibe last Sunday. Those who managed to tune in and successfully listen all through appreciated it a lot. Last weekend, especially Sunday, we had a rampaging storm Dara, whatever it's called here in the UK, that disrupted communication, transportation, and every other thing indeed. But thank you, Kabiama, is a bit calmer now, but I hope it is not a calm before another storm. So let's recap what the submission of last Sunday was. Your overall assessment, just for the interest of those who couldn't listen in last Sunday or also didn't get it clearly because of the initial disruption in communication. How well have the ESN performed in their primary duties of protecting our people in our farmlands especially?
Thank you very much, Chief Nice. If you didn't listen or you didn't get a chance to listen to it, Chief Nice, actually, I was re-listening to your post of your recording of that last week's performance on Radio Biafra, and I was shocked of this things that were said. I was like, wow, these things all came out. So,
yes, they did.
Great Biafrans out there, I guess this might be less than, okay? So don't hold us any kind of lofty standards today, because that was like raw and it came out really clearly. And
it was fire in the storm.
It really was.
Yeah.
So you can continue to make that recording available, and this one also. But I can tell that I read this week somewhere in all the media storm that IPOB provides all over the world, and I want to let IPOB members to keep it coming, keep it going, keep just the barrage of information that you send to the social media, keep it going. Somebody's looking at it. They notice the activities. So because of one of the things I read in what I read this week was that ESN, the Eastern Security Network, has fulfilled 80% of their mandate. I don't know who wrote it, and I don't recall exactly how it was, but I read this line especially, and I wrote it down. And I kind of thought about it. And I thought, 80%, huh?
And I think that is modest, to be honest.
Yes, exactly. I said, 80%, huh? I said, I think it's more than 80%. This is what I'm considering to myself. And when I said that to myself, I said, yes, I'm very sure it's more than 80% because we know, all of us in IPOB know what Eastern Security Network was sent to do. They were sent to make sure that the marauding Fulani herdsmen that are actually Fulani terrorists in our farmlands are chased away. It was simple. It was a simple mandate. And if you look today, I think it's more than 90% that there are no longer those terrorists in our farmlands, in our bushes, in our forests. So I just, when I saw 80%, it looked like a very high number at first when I looked at it, but I thought, no, is much more than 80%. It might be closer to 100%, because I told everyone that I went home to Biafra land this year, and the only things I heard, and listen, if you're IPOB member and you go home, you kind of ask questions, you know, you sneakily ask questions, and people don't know why you're asking questions, and they tell you the truth. So you meet anybody on the road and you just ask them, are there these herdsmen, are they still in the bushes around your area? They tell you, no, we don't see them anymore. But do you know, this week or last week, I saw one incident where a rice farmer family in Ebonyi were trying to harvest rice. And these one man, I think I saw just one herdsman with a herd of cows, were telling them to leave so that the cows will actually eat the rice that they were trying to harvest. This broke my heart so bad. I was like almost in tears. But what I'm saying is that that's one incident that I can really tell you about in many months now. So more than 90% of the mandate of the Eastern Security Network has been accomplished and fulfilled by them. So for that reason, and that reason only, we should applaud them, we should encourage them, we should say bravo to them, because they have done mostly what they were asked to do. And let me not get into the other part, because the other part is, great Biafrans out there will ask, so, you know, there's still so much trouble in our land. What is going on? Everything that is happening in Biafra is not the mandate of the Eastern Security Network. We must separate the work that our leader and the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, the DOS, gave to them to do, from what else, all the confusion that the politicians and everybody else is causing. We must separate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tinai. You are 100% spot on. And I must say that the isolated case you reported, or we might see another couple coming up, because obviously the sponsors of Insecurity are Mazi Chinasamoru, named and shamed them last night in his landmark broadcast. Dave Umai, we know who he is and what it's like. They want to their IPOB to see whether because their agent provocateur is now falling out with them and also being dethroned. They want to provoke incidents to make it look like, oh, we are a problem, but we are not. And because our leadership has already mandated the ESN to secure our land and our people throughout this festive season, not just in the bushes, but in our community. So it's doing their head in, literally. So they're going to sponsor a few daredevil Fulani terrorists, they call herdsmen, to try and come up with their shenanigans. But I think we'll be equal to the task. Mazi Safunwa, you were not here last Sunday, but I'm sure you're listening up from your location. What is your own assessment of the overall job the ESN has done in the last 4 years?
Thank you, Chief. Nice, Mokoro. Yes, though I wasn't here, but I listened attentively to the discussions, and I must say that our sister really did justice, and everyone that participated in that discussion. But having said this, I think what is going on or what is happening in Biafra land is very clear for us to see and to understand. IPOB, ESN, I must say, have been laser focused. We are not distracted. ESN knows what the assignment is. ESN understand the operations of the enemy, and ESN is very much being a voluntary organization, the people, our men and women are working with their heart. The evidence is there for everyone to see. People could go to their farms and plant and as well harvest. People were able to report incidences here and there. And the ESN doesn't come out making noise where to go or where not to go, but they are able to harness the information, all the information we gather throughout Biafra land. They know where to start. So I would say kudos to them and our people, the IPOB in general. Will continue to thank every one of us for our support, but we are not out of the wood yet. We must continue what we are doing. We must not be distracted by maybe letting the praises get into our head. No, ESN needs more support. ESN need more collaboration. ESN need our people to understand that they are there for their sake. Whoever wants to understand what ESN is doing, what IPOB is doing, have to make sure that you listen to to radio stations, to the IPOB press release. Because for those of us who are Christians, you cannot tell me you will understand the mind of God without reading the Bible. It's very important that we continue to encourage our people to listen to IPOB press release, make reference to it, and with the Twitter handles continue to circulate every information, every press release from IPOB. It's moving and it's working perfectly well. The world are listening. People that matters get to read our submissions. And I want us to continue in unison, knowing that whatever affects the eyes affects the nose. If it's happening in the borders of Enugu, or it's happening in Imo State, it's happening in Anambra, wherever it is happening, wherever we get the information, please, we must continue to let it reach to the appropriate quarters. ESN need much support. And with what we heard from our Maze China Sanworu, this goes a long way for us to understand that we have a lot of enemies within. And despite all this, ESN has continued to deliver. I think that we need to continue to support ESN in every way possible. And as well, let those who have misled themselves in the past come back to the fold with their whole heart. I believe there have been modalities for us to get them back. But the work of ESN cannot be toyed with, because we don't want anything to set us back. 80% is an excellent result. But as Dr. Tina rightly said, you can give them even 90 or above. But having said that, we need to maintain it. We need to maintain it. Thank you.
Thank you, Machineke. Obviously, it is not yet Uhuru. However, testament to the great work the ESN is doing is the increase, or should I say, improved harvest our local farmers reported across Biafra land this season. And Chief Mayor, I come to you, Chair. In your recapping of your assessment of last Sunday, we did ask this question. Do our locals, in particular, never mind officials or government people, truly appreciate the work of the human work, it must be said, the human's work, the ESN, and by extension, the IPOB is doing? Because part of the increase in the yield of this harvest season is also down to the agriculture fund of the leadership of the IPOB in providing quality organic seedlings to our local farmers to improve their activities. How much are they appreciative of this initiative and supportive as well?
Thank you, Chief Nurse, once more. Like we all know, the ESN is a child of necessity. You know, the same way the IPOB, as a child of necessity, came forward when we had no one to protect us, when we had no one to say our minds, when we had no one to be there for us. The IPOB sprout from nowhere. Here we are today. It gave birth to the ESN. Here we are today as well. You know, one thing, like I said last week, is that nature and what makes we Biafrans always has this way of, you know, bringing out surprises, especially when it comes to the security of our land. You know, when people think that we are engulfed or we are about to be engulfed, surprises normally sprout from somewhere, from nowhere, you know, to save us. Alright? Now, even if people, like we know today, our people can freely go to their farms and do their farm works without troubles, without bloodshed, without being killed and their body parts strewn across the farmland and all that, you know. They know, our people know, both the ordinary people on the streets and our farmers, we all know that there are people who are making it possible for them to go in. Like, I saw some videos of tomato farmers, cucumbers farmers, yams, tubers of yam. I think it's from Nkano, somewhere in Nkano. And these people were giving praises. They were saying, oh, ESN will thank you if not for you, you know, or what would you have done. I saw another video somewhere in Biafra. You know, there was a woman crying, oh, that the Fulani people that went into her farm. You know, the way they do it normally, once they get into a farm, they use their cutlass with their AK-47 hanging on their shoulders. They use their cutlass and chop off everything on the farm, use it to feed their cows, you know, which is what? Working towards their dream of making sure that we don't go to farm, you know. That side of Igbocha, of course, we all know what all ESN at the beginning covered all those areas until the little Hitler, you know, did what he did. But I know that the leadership is on it to, you know, do something. Because one man, the thought of one man, what one man has in mind cannot be a replication of what we all Biafrans have in mind. That is never. If the little Hitler, because of his political whatever he's doing, is saying ESN do not come into, because you don't own Igbocha. Igbocha belongs to Biafrans. Alright? So, having said that, our people are really in appreciation of what the ESN is doing. Our people are really in appreciation of what the ESN is doing. Because, if not for the ESN, imagine what the people those of them in Ibira, in the middle belt, the Agara people, the Biron people, the Buji people, the Chamba people, Ego people, and the rest of them. These are the people, I mean, the nationalities of Nigeria who are losing their lands daily, who are being butchered every day in their hundreds. People are dying like flies by the Fulani terrorists. Fulani terrorists invade them in their farms, kill them, destroy their crops, you know. And honestly, from intelligence, these people are working their ways down. But you know, what is putting fears in them is that they do not know what they are going to face in Biafra land. And like one of our presenters, Wachineke, will say, itinye ukwu na ala Biafra, eke elogi, tinye ishi n'ofia in our bush, eke elogi will be swallowed. You know? So they know that all these are on ground. So when even if they're going to come in, they're going to tread carefully. That is even if they're going to come in. But we know they're not going to come in. And our gallant men are steadily doing the job they are sent to do. And that is what we know that they must continue to be doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Machineke. Thank you for that submission. Dr. Tina, I'll come back to you. Now that apparently the mandate of the ESN has expanded, following the directive from our leadership for them to ensure security for our people, returnees and holiday makers, you yourself have been to Biafra land this year. Earlier on, we thank you for your safety and security. How do you look at this development? Yes, I was enthused by it. I thought, oh, come on, here we go. We come out from the bushes. While we still maintain our stronghold in the bushes, we are out on the street and community to give our people the protection they need and the reassurance to enjoy their festive period. How do you think what sort of reaction will this attract from our enemies? And how safe our gallant men and women given this scenario?
Mazi, Chief Nice, you know that we are great Biafrans and our hearts and minds are in what we are doing. So we must continue to really intelligently challenge ourselves to the scenarios and the situations at hand. I'm not preview to what the leadership knows, of course. The leadership knows much of what they're doing. And somewhere last week you said, this is what you said, and this is a quote, you called us, called the Eastern Security Network, intelligent agents. You said that. And when I was listening to that taping, I was kind of taken aback. Like I really tell everybody, what was listed last week was a whole lot. And let me tell you, everything that is said on Radio Biafra sometimes is revolutionary. And we don't think about it too much because we listen to Radio Biafra all the time. But there are certain things that come out of certain people's mouths, and when I think about it, it just shocks me, and I have to really sit down and think about it. You called them intelligent agents, or intelligence agents. I was shocked. Hear that again. Yes, because they're that. Because they're that, and because you really nailed it when you said intelligence agents. So I'm sure they will continue to act as such. They're smart men and women. We trust them. They know how to accomplish their tasks. So anyway, in the Americans say, you know, you might be there. You see them. You might be there. No. What's the way they put it? They say someone is hiding in plain sight. I don't know whether you have that saying in English. Yeah, hiding in plain sight. Our Eastern Security Network men and women are capable of hiding in plain sight. We're Biafrans. We're Biafrans for goodness. We are regular people in Biafra land. How would I be walking in the street of any Biafran city or town or village, and anybody comes and asks me or tells me what I am in my own father's land? You own the land. The land belongs to you, great Biafrans. So nobody come to your father's house to identify you. Nobody should come and tell you who you are. Oh, by the way, your name is Mokoro. And who are you? You know, you can't tell anybody that. You cannot come to me and say, so who are you? I didn't tell you that. You have to whatever information that you are telling us in our land from us. So the only thing I can tell great Biafrans in Biafra land, and those of us who have trooped home, many of my friends are right now in Biafra land trying to enjoy the Yuletide season. So here we go. Nobody should come to ask you any question, whether you're ESN, whether you're IPOB, whether you're Biafran, or whether you're Igbo man or Igala man or whoever. We are who we are. So I am very sure that the Eastern Security Network can operate in plain sight and accomplish their tasks, which this time is to make sure that great people of Biafra who are trooping home have a good time. They are going to have a good time simply because they will know that the gallant men and women are among them, and don't have to be showing anything to be saying anything, but they know that you should celebrate in confidence. You're in your land. The Eastern Security men and women are among you. They will be in the bushes where they usually operate, but some of them will be among you. So go about your business. Do not be afraid. If anybody is trying to make us afraid to return to our land, that person has already failed.
Woefully.
Woefully. You cannot make us afraid to go home to Biafra land. I described in the last program last week how I feel when I step down on Biafra land. It's a feeling that you can never get anywhere else. When I come back to America, I'm here. But when I go down to Biafra land, I see the palm trees and I talk to the people and I hear the voices of the people. They don't have to be talking to me. I just hear their voices.
I call it revival.
Yes, my mind, my brain, all the elements in my body are completely revived at that instant.
Absolutely.
I'm more alive than I have ever been before I step down on Biafra land. So when you go home, feel yourself, do yourself, and act normal. If any janjaweed challenges you on the street, you know what to do. You just really know how to conduct yourself depending on the situation. But these people that you see today, I am promising you, great Biafrans, one day you see them no more. I am promising you. Yeah. So don't worry. Just go and enjoy yourself and know that the gallant men and women, I call them angels, they're among you. The angels are among you. You just do. And they know how to accomplish their task. I'm not afraid that they will be in the street. I'm not afraid that they may be in the villages and the towns and looking at things. They're intelligent officers. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ada Biafra. Part of intelligence is covert operation. That's what Dr. Tina is saying.
Yes.
How to deploy intelligence and also employ covert operation. That means you don't have to be clothed in any special gears. It's plain clothes. Here in the United Kingdom, for example, the highest intelligence agency, the MI6, could be your neighbor. It could be an 86-year-old neighbor of yours, man or woman, and they are getting all the intelligence, and they pass it on discreetly to the authorities.
Now, in the United States of America, they are actually street boys in America. They are just...
Well, it could be anybody, really, and they don't need to shout. We have to educate our people too. We need to amend some of our ways and conduct. Everything must not be loud. Quietly, intelligently gather the information, the data we need, pass it across to our leadership, and then our diligent amount will get it and deal with it decisively. So have no fears, be full of faith. We will. We have already done it. We have revived Biafra land. All we are waiting for is the formalization, the release of our leader Nnamdi Kanu, and the endorsement, authorization of our referendum, which will win landslide to get our Biafra. But we have to keep on doing the hard work. Thank you so much, Dr. Tina. Mazu KJ, before we open the telephone line, let me quickly have your own thought on this development. I know we just talked about it. Our people and their attitude, and also, I think it was the chair that mentioned it. Sometimes, some communities in Ebonyi in particular, Mazimoro refer to it, we lure our gallant men, raise false alarm, and say, oh, please come and help us, ESN. But their agents already paid. So our people come to help them, and then they get the Janjaweed forces to counterattack. So what is the advice to our people?
Thank you, Chief Nwokoro. As Dr. Tina rightly pointed out, ESN is not like others. ESN is an intelligent network. In the zoo, what the people see as security is far from the reality. What the people know as security is directly opposite of what it is in the normal sense of it. ESN have learned with time. ESN, I'm sure, just as you rightly said, there have been some of our misguided brothers here and there trying to be mischievous. But ESN over these years have that experiences so far. What I have or what I see is that even so far with the assignment ESN has in the bushes, they don't go about the assignment making noise. They choose when to operate and where to go. When they get the information, when they get all the facts, they take their time and they do their job. I'm very sure this is not going to be different. We own Biafra land, and Biafra land belongs to us. Whoever that comes in, whatever the zoo is doing, they are actually more afraid. Because if you're in your own home, the armed robbers or those that come to steal, they don't know how you prepare. They are mostly afraid. ESN has weight of experience after all these years, and I'm sure they will bring it to play. Our people, as I earlier said, need to own up to know that their cooperation is needed. We are not content creators. We are not here to make noise or for people to see ESN and be hailing the way the zoo does things. I'm very, very confident that ESN will continue to do perfect job. And we're all here. We'll continue to bring in our knowledge from different areas forward to the leadership, and they'll know how to sieve it. We have very intelligent Biafrans all over the world, and we have people who understand that this is about life and death. And those also who understand very well that we must do all it takes to be free. So we are on self-defense. ESN will continue to work strong, I'm very sure, and our people shall go home and they will enjoy Biafra land and they will come back in one piece. Thank you.
I'm sure our people are already returning home. Today is the 15th of December. Tabu Bochi Unkwo. When we were growing up, but around this time already, we are all heading to the village for Christmas. Between the 15th and the 20th, the early arrivals are already in, and the late arrivals will start coming from 21st up until even a couple of days after Christmas. What I'm looking at before I invite our dear listeners to join us on the telephone line is not the conduct of our ESN, because that is guaranteed already. They are well disciplined, well trained, they know their routines. It's our own people, particularly those who are coming from different places of the earth, returnees and holiday makers, how they will conduct themselves, how they are able to understand this covert operation I talked about, and highly intelligent service that the ESN has offered to provide free of charge. Do you see any risk and reward in this challenge? We will not be blindfolding ourselves to think it's all going to be plain sailing. We know the enemy, their strength. We also know the people they use amongst our own people to perpetuate all the evil they do in our land, because they can't succeed one bit without using our own people. So how are you concerned about the risk and reward of this upcoming operation?
Thank you once more. You see, in one of Oyindu's wife's programs on radio, one of her programs on radio sometime in the past, she stated categorically that one thing she abhors so much in life is someone that is not disciplined. That she holds discipline to a very high stake. You know? Why did I mention this? The reason is that ESN are very men and women of high discipline. You know? Very, very disciplined men and women. Alright? And so it came that when I heard that the ESN have been given that a little bit oversight of their job, being on the street, especially for this festive season. Where my mind quickly rushed towards during the Masob's days, when men in Masob started being agents of husband and wife settling problems, shop in the market and all that, land disputes, settling the land disputes and all that. No, but my mind quickly came back and no, these are highly, highly trained, disciplined men. That is not where we are going to, because you know that each step we take, the leadership takes in directing this movement, be the IPOB on its own or the ESN on its own. The enemies are listening, and they are going to carve out their own way to come back. Now, I want to make it clear to them, very, very clear to them, that the ESN, they are not coming with guns into the street. They will be coming into the street with intelligence, just on intelligence gathering. So, when they start making their troubles, which we know, because every step we make, we expect reactions from them. So, when they will be making their troubles, again, we are stating here that it isn't us. Our own is just to gather intelligence, get the information we need. The ESN, their own duty is just to get the intelligence, gather the information they need any way it is, and take it back to the headship of the ESN, wherever the troubles are. So they are not coming into the street to start, people calling them, both the returnees and the residents, coming to tell them, oh, my wife slapped me, oh, can you come and settle us, and we have a land dispute and all that. No, that's not their duty. so that when the enemy start fermenting their troubles and saying it's ESN, because I listened to an interview, I think it's on Arise TV with the army, Nigeria's Zeus army chief, and the interviewer was asking him, if you say that the ESN does all these atrocities, that what he knows, the interviewer was telling the army chief that what he knows troublemakers for is that anywhere, each time they cause trouble, they kill people, they cause trouble, that they like taking responsibilities, just to make sure to send the message that they are on ground. But that the IPOB and the ESN at all times, they keep saying, exonerating themselves from whatever is happening, especially the atrocities happening in the East. Oh, he said, yeah, that these guys are educated people, not like the Boko Haram that are not educated, that these guys, the people running the IPOB as well as the ESN, they are very educated people, that because of the consequences of taking responsibilities, that's why the IPOB and the ESN are not taking responsibilities. But he is a liar. He is a liar. We don't cause havoc in our own society in Biafra land. We don't do that. We are actually here to protect our people. And we tell all our returnees, those who are coming back in this festive season, relax, do whatever business you came back to do, and do the inhabitants, those of them who are at home, know ye that they say in every 12 there's there's a good man, So know ye that anywhere you are gathered, be it in your bar where you are drinking, filling station, shopping mall and all that, know that there are men, not uniformed, men and women who are not uniformed, but watching over you in whatever you do. That is the top-notch degree of the activities of the leadership of both the IPOB and the ESN. We are here to save our people, not to harm our people. And this is how it will continue to be. Whenever it meets, I know that the leadership thought this thoroughly, because every move the leadership of this movement makes, they must have thought about it over and over and over and over again. Before deciding to bring our men out, giving them this little oversight function, they must have thought about it over and over again. So, what we are saying is that all returnees, all inhabitants of Biafra land, stay calm. Anything you see that goes wrong around you, or anywhere around you or within your community or all that, raise an alarm. You know how to have a channel through which to get to our men, and they will do what? They will answer you as adequately required. Thank you.
Thank you, Machineke. Of course, IPOB, we are highly educated. On this hallowed platform, Radio Biafra is our own university, where you get the highest honors and degrees, learning and continuous learning. And also, without discipline, as we always say, we are nothing. So we treasure discipline so much. We prioritize our conduct, and that is also epitomized by the ESN. So our people should cooperate, exhibiting the same level of natural intelligence, emotional intelligence, and all that we have, that we are well endowed with as Biafrans to defeat our enemy. You're still listening to the People's Parliament on the UK Time Out on Radio Biafra. My wonderful panelists are doing justice to special edition, anniversary edition, if you like, of the Eastern Security Network. We'll be going in the second half into the crux of the matter, which is about supporting, funding the ESN. But let me quickly invite our dear listeners that the telephone line is now open. We have one line available for today. We'll be very glad to have you join us, make your own contributions. Let's hear your appreciation of the ESN and your support The numbers to call if you're within the United Kingdom is, please call direct if you can, 078-177-96032. If you're calling from within the UK, you can also, if you haven't got data or minutes to call directly, you can also call on WhatsApp. But for those calling from outside of the United Kingdom, please put the country code +44 78 177 96032. We'll be very glad to take your own views. And while we wait for the calls to come through, we will continue our discussion. Dr. Tina, we have x-rayed it, what the ESN is doing, what they will continue to do. Now, there's a lot of resources required for the ESN to do, even half the job they've already done and they continue to do. The financial encumbrances and the requirements are huge in terms of their welfare, in terms of other logistics, and necessities. For them to carry out effective operation and for us to be successful in our goal, which they are already largely, you brought the data, 80+% success, which I think is very modest. So how do we get our people now to buy in? Last Saturday here in the UK, we did our own fundraising in the United States of America. I'm sure you did not too long ago as well. India is doing, I think, today. And all over the world, we are doing our best to raise funds for the ESN. How much do we need the buy-in of our people, non-IPOB members, Igbos, both in diaspora, especially our people back home? The hardship is so much. Unless for those who are well to do, I wouldn't disturb them, that much. But before you come in, Dr. Tina, we have a caller on the line. Our first caller. Hello, caller. Hello, good evening. Please, you are on live to the UK Time Out on Radio Biafra. You're most welcome. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and go straight with your question or comment.
Alright, my name is Chinedu. I'm calling from Biafra land. I just want to call to let my boys to commend the effort that you people are putting in to create more awareness to what's really happening in Biafra land. You take it back 10 years ago, or even 6 or 4 years ago, the awareness or the wokeness, so to say, of our youth and even our parents compared to that time has really changed. It's more, we are more aware of our heritage now than we have ever been. And you keep encouraging people to come back home. You keep saying that it's safe to come home. ESN is there to do the needful, whereas there is a propaganda going on mainstream media that Southeast is one of the most unsafe regions of the Zoological Republic, and the reality is different from our findings and what we have come to understand, and even what we have seen put on social media, where the so-called touts that are pioneering this insecurity incidents in the Southeast are sort of bragging, and they are almost at loggerhead against each other about the financing of their misconduct, and I see the hand of God on it. There's an extent to which you foster a negative narrative, and then it will have a fallback on whoever is pioneering that negativity.
Definitely.
So, I'm glad that the heat is coming back on them. And the people now know for a fact that the insecurity is like even Peter Obi acknowledged, there are non-state actors that are pioneering this insecurity, and even non-indigenous. And also, I like to kind of point to a fact about the IPOB. I know IPOB is an organization, but anybody that is from Biafra land is an IPOB. Anybody from Biafra land is an indigenous person of Biafra. Just that sometimes, you know, if you're not registered, you agree with that, it's a fact. But in terms of heritage, whether they like it or even the likes of Umahi that have kind of misconstrued their ways or gone wrong in their path, originally they were also indigenous people of Biafra. And we're not taking them out of context because we know that at a point there's still room for them to come back, and they've not gotten to apostasy yet as I see it. So I really want to say well done to the crew, well done to whatever you guys are doing to foster this this Biafra of a thing.
Thank you much,
is our hope. Is our hope. When you see the happenings in Nigeria, you see common foreign exchange, you see there's no importation, things are going wrong, the economy is rising, inflation is on the high, and then you just think about Biafra. That is something. We still have hope. Definitely. For us. So, no matter what happens, we know that Biafra will definitely come. If Biafra was not real, the fight against the Biafra nation should have extinct Biafra by now. But the more they fight Biafra, the stronger it's getting. So that's to tell you that Biafra is beyond a nation. And I really hope that we don't get tired of doing what we're doing. The doctors, I love to listen to our mommies in the house. Whenever the US mothers are talking, I'm always on my online radio. So it's something that gives us courage. Our fortitude, our solace is Biafra. Thank you.
Thank you, Chinedu Machineke. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of the festive season. Thank you.
You too, sir.
Thank you.
The Chief Nice, I just cannot wait to jump in. Yes. Mazi Chinedu has shown great understanding. What is Chineke we have? This is the best call on the radio this week, okay? If you didn't listen to this Mazi Chinedu this afternoon, you don't get the idea of what we tell you. Listen to Radio Biafra. Listen to Radio Biafra. If you miss this call, you have missed everything this week. Listen to this Mazi Chineke telling you that in the name of Biafra, they gain you, everybody that is a Biafran gains the solace. That's it gives us peace of mind. It gives us somewhere to hang our hats. Oh my goodness!
He spoke so eloquently well, and also that encapsulates what I'm saying about our people buying in. Like you said, every indigenous person of Biafra is an IPOB. They may not, yes, they are not members of IPOB as a movement, but they are still an indigenous person of Biafra. And the protection the ESN is providing is for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's not selective.
I will say this and shut up. This is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Negative narrative that you hear on Nigerian media right now because they are beating themselves up to conjure up something against Biafra is because the Yoruba Gota media has been paid off long time ago. They have been bought by the Nigerian government to just to bring this propaganda, and the more we fight them, the worse they get. And they're showing their negativity in the open, and everybody sees their insincerity and their lack of professionalism to that they have claimed to have learned. They think that journalists, but they're not. They are not. They're just propagandists who have come up against one nation, Biafra, in that whole contraption. So they are showing that they are negative, very unprofessional people. They're liars. We are Biafrans. We call it like we see it. We don't mince words. We are calling them liars because that's all they're doing. They leave everything that is happening in Medigri. They leave everything that is happening in Sokoto. They even leave what is happening in Benue and Plateau, where people are being killed and taken over every day. Villages are being ransacked every day. Sacked and ransacked and people killed off. They leave all of that to point to everybody, every Dick and Harry in the contraption, that Biafra land is burning. No, it's not. I am telling you, I am assuring you, because I have been there. I've been there recently to see that everybody is going on their normal business every day. They get up and they do their business. And do you know those people, I continue to tell you today, those people that you see harass people on our byways and highways in Biafra land, the checkpoints, you see them today, one day you see them no more because their time is numbered, their days are numbered in our land. They were watching AK for calling this afternoon. Thank you, Mazi Chinedu.
Thank you, Dr. Tina. Please don't shut up. Keep firing because, as Chinedu said, we must continue as we move, and we shall not be moved. No matter their propaganda, the Lagos Ibadan gutter press, we know them, that they are historical antecedents. It's always been like this. And of course, it will only get worse because one of their own is now in charge of the Zoological Republic, and they all believe collectively in their head that Emiloko is their turn, or my turn. One person signifying all of them. So we know they are fearmongers. They want to create the insecurity and instability in our land because that will profit them. Unfortunately, some of our people are playing ostriches or agents to them to enable them propagate their propaganda and also to put our people down. But this is why IPOB is here. This is why the ESN is here to say no and to resist every attempt to put fears in us. Mazukeji, while we wait for the next caller to come in, how do you look at what strategies will you prefer for us to get more of our people to buy in? You know, here in the UK, we keep on being dynamic, evolving all manner of strategies. Your national thing, the community engagement and mobilization, we carried out a whole lot of outreaches this summer. In the last 5 months, I've been to at least 18 different places across the whole length and breadth of the UK. Some of them with you, preaching this same gospel of truth, evangelizing to our people. But when it comes to dip our hands into our pockets to put a token to support this, even anonymously, they shy away. Compare that to the Yorubas that we just talked about. They are always upfront to identify with their own security outfit and Moteku and fund it openly, even. They're not hiding about it. So what is it that is wrong with our psyche?
Chief Nice, thank you very much. And to our brother that come from Biafra land, we're very grateful. Our people are people of common sense. Our association, our encounter with the zoo have turned our people to something else. What IPOB have been doing and will continue to do is to remain consistent. We will never lie to our people. We will never deceive our people. Many have come in with our name to do rubbish things, but I will continue to tell our people, unless you listen to IPOB, you will continue to listen to the wrong news. While we are here rubbing minds together, following what is happening in Biafra land, most of us sometimes we get into a meeting and we close the following morning and yet we have to go to work. Consistency is the key. We will never give up. We will never stop sanitizing our people. We will never continue to give them the right information. A simple example is this. We are living in the Western world. But if you continue to consume the Western news, you may get it wrong. If you continue to see everything they say from their own perspective, you'll be surprised how wrong you will be narrating or repeating the same thing that is holding you down. Most of us have lived in the zoo from Northwest and also Biafra land before we left. We know in the North, a lot of things happen. Our people, most of the time, are victims. But you'll never hear it anywhere in the news. Not from the national, not from the state. They make sure that they bury the news that you deserve to know. What IPOB is doing actually is presently, or since the inception of IPOB, is to unmask the reality that is holding our people down. We know, as Onyendu rightly said, or we always say, we will be patient. We will continue to feed our people with the right information. Our people have woken up. Many have woken up. Those who decide to deceive themselves are the mischievous ones. But collectively, we are all part and parcel. We are all victims of the Nigerian state. Whatever our people know today about IPOB, nobody can fault us. So for that, we will remain consistent. The information we continue to dish out, telling our people to put their money where their mouth is, letting them to understand that Biafra restoration is not a favor. Putting in your money to support IPOB ESN is a favor you are doing to yourself. Our people have gotten used to the way they do things in the zoo. Unless you clap, unless you take them to the highest mountain and announce their name and give them all the accolades, they will not bring out their money. But who is going to lose? Wherever we are residing, whatever we are doing, there is nowhere like home. We are looking forward to that day when all of us shall be heading back to Biafra land. Dr. Tina rightly said, those that you see today oppressing our people, one day you shall see them no more. So, I think IPOB will remain consistent. I think IPOB will never lie to our people. I urge our people to please continue to listen to the information we have for you, wherever you are, especially for those of us in the diaspora. We will continue to talk to our people.
Thank you, Chineke. Thank you. Dear listeners, you can join us just as Chinedu did. The lines are open. The numbers, if you are calling from within the United Kingdom, is 078-177-96032. I take that again, 078-177-96032. And if you are calling from outside of the UK, please call via WhatsApp only. And the numbers to call are just add the country code, which is +44 to the same number. So that will be +44 78 177 9602. We'll be happy to take your calls and get your views as we continue to explore how best to support the ESN to end the insecurity in our land. Chief Ibe, just before probably we take a break while waiting for more calls, what are your thoughts of how best our people can support, not just only IPOB members, but Biafrans, friends of Biafra, lovers of freedom?
Yes. Thank you once more. You see, let me thank the first caller. You know, his call was very great. You know, it shows that he is deeply into what we are doing. Let me just clarify him a little bit. You know, there is IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. Everyone who is born into the region, the Biafra land, is a Biafran, is an IPOB by birth. Be it Article Denwa, a Biafran by birth, an IPOB by birth, Ifeanyi Okowa, an IPOB by birth, Chimaroke Nnamani, name them, or Joseph Carlo, an IPOB by birth. But then there's a movement championing the cause of the restoration of Biafra, known as IPOB, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Article Denwa might not be under that, or Joseph Carlo might not be under that, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu may not be leading them. So that's the difference. And don't forget that at the beginning of this program I told you that the liberation of the many is always achieved by the bravery and the gallantry of the few. I know everyone will never come out to join this, but that's why we continue in the process of doing what? Gearing towards what we call the critical mass. You know, consistency, which our leader told us, consistency. I remember one of his programs, you know, where he illustrated with a friction. You keep rubbing the back of your palm. When you start, at some point, you start with pain. But at some point, the pain fades away while you keep rubbing, while you still rubbing. You see, that pain that goes away is as a result of the resistance we are putting in. You know, so whatever we are saying now, I can tell you for sure that as long as we continue persistent and consistent, you know, forever, this movement can stay for years and years. You know, there's something in esoteric knowledge. There's something called...
Man, sorry to cut in there. We had a caller, Chidebere. Okay. Hello, caller, are you still there? Oh, he's gone. We'll take a short break and we'll come back because the lines are still open. I'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to the UK Timeout on Radio Biafra. Our lines are still open. The numbers to call are from within the UK 078 177 96032 You may call direct, which is cheaper, or via WhatsApp if you haven't got data to call direct. And if you are calling from out of the United Kingdom, please add the country code +44 78 177 96032. We are still discussing how supporting the ESN will help end the man-made insecurity in our land, Igbo land, Biafra land, the Southeast, or whatever it's called these days. And I have my wonderful panelists here in the studio, Dr. Tina Iberechukwu, all the way from the United States of America, Afunwa Ukeje, our IPOB meeting Kings, zonal coordinator here in the UK, and Chief Ibe Ume, who is our IPOB Brighton zonal coordinator. And let me also quickly inform our listeners that next Sunday will be a bumper special edition, Christmas edition, featuring our First Lady, wife of our Onyendu, Lolo Uchechi Okukano, will be here with us on a special Christmas edition to talk about reformations, transformations, what we need to get ourselves ready for in the incoming year for a better movement is one not to be missed. So get ready that day to listen and also join in. Wish her a very Merry Christmas. It's been a very, very long year for each and every one of us. So it's our honor and privilege to have Lolo back. Remember that Lolo was the person who actually opened this program on the 15th of September, and it was a blockbuster. We are so glad that she's back again with us next Sunday. Don't miss it. Mazi Umez, sorry about that interruption with that call. I'll quickly round up what you were saying about how our people can get more engaged in terms of supporting us.
Yes. So I was about saying that, there's something called esoteric knowledge. In esoteric knowledge, one of there's something called the Christ consciousness. And one of the branches of the Christ consciousness is what? Participating in a struggle which you may not even reap the dividends. So, what this means is that the security of our land is what? Is a duty which everyone must be part of. As well as also in supporting IPOB is something which everyone, whether you are an IPOB member, led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or you are an indigenous Biafran who is not under the umbrella of IPOB led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, but you need security. Because without security, you are never going to have a rest of mind, peace of mind down there in Biafra land. So in whatever way you can support us, which number one is to keep on evangelizing wherever we are, as well, especially letting people or telling people, getting people to listen to Radio Biafra, because this is where we disseminate all the information. Because when I meet people, they talk about IPOB, trying to link IPOB with what the criminal in Finland is doing. I tell them the reason you say this is because you don't listen to Radio Biafra. If you listen to Radio Biafra, you will be able to make the distinction between IPOB and what the criminal is doing. So it is our duty to get more and more people, get as many people as possible to listen to Radio Biafra, where we do what? Where we disseminate the information of how we support, especially because the more people we get to listen to the radio, the better, and the more people we get the support. The more we get people to listen, the more they help us to also to disseminate the information about Biafra. Like I said last week, that we need as much support as we can. We need as much as we can garner internationally and among the Biafrans. Anything at all, because we are facing extinction. This is battle, because remember what our leader the eternal leader said during the war that self-preservation is probably one of the number one human instinct. You know, what we are doing is called the reflex action. No one is telling us to defend ourselves. We are defending ourselves because we must live. We must have life first before any other thing in our life. So, while on this radio, we call on whoever is listening out there and also to disseminate this information you are getting on the radio. Get as many people as possible to support what we are doing. It is for our own good, not for only people who are under the umbrella of IPOB, led by Mazen Namdekan, but for the entire Biafra land. We do that.
Thank you very much, Machineke.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Our IPOB UK end of year ESN fundraising is still ongoing. We are still doing the fundraising up to the 31st of December, which is the, what do they call it now, crossover day. So if you want to donate, even after that day, you kindly visit our IPOB website, www.ipob.org/donate. Or you can call the phone number that we are using for this call tonight, which is 078-177-96032, or send a message or WhatsApp message to it. Or better still, send an email to Chief Nice UKNC, Chief Nicene UKNC @gmail.com. Chief NICEN UKNC @gmail.com. We'll be happy to receive your kind donation. Dr. Tina will be rounding it up gradually now. As I said earlier, I know that in the United States of America, you guys are doing your utmost as well to raise the necessary funds. What are some of the challenges in getting our people to financially or materially support the quest for restoration of Biafra?
Thank you very much, Chief Nice Nwokoro, for calling on me again. I want to let Biafrans know, and I think some of them already know, that my passion is to raise funds to support the Eastern Security Network. There's a time, I think last week also, you said that all we can do, no, I think it was in your address at the fundraising, you said that the least and what we can actually contribute, which is meager, is that we must support them morally and financially and encourage them in their work. We did not appoint any of these men and women to come out to do this work. They actually came out on their own. Isn't that what is beautiful about this whole thing? And that's what Chief Ume was trying to elaborate on. Chief Ume was telling us that the highest, I think one of the best things you can do is to know that you will not benefit from something and you still do it. That is just selflessness, you know. You are not being selfish in any way. You're being selfless. You know that this will someday yield some kind of result that will be beneficial for your grandchildren, for your people, collectively. And so my passion, like I said, is working to make sure that the Eastern Security Network has what they need. They must have the necessities of what they need in the bushes to carry on this work. I'm looking at my notes. I've written down a few things. There is one thing that I said last weekend that we do. The most consistent way to support them is to pay your dues every month. That's the most consistent. And what we do in the United States of America is our dues is a certain amount of money. We add a few more dollars on top of that to make sure that they get a little more that is dedicated to the Eastern Security Network. And the leadership knows. So if we pay $10, we add maybe $5 to the $10 and make sure. And we have a standard amount that everyone pays in the United States of America every month. We pay the $100 because we know that A certain amount of it, about 60% of it, is for our dues, and 40% of it is for the Eastern Security Network, dedicated to go to them every month. That's one consistent way that we do it. Then another way that we do it is by calling for the fundraising. And when we call you for fundraising, we are doing it because it is our duty to do so. So please, when we call you, please answer us. Please, please, please answer us. And many Biafrans in the United States of America, I should say some Biafrans in the United States of America, do answer our call. And they come and they give us good amount of money. But if every Biafran in the United States of America will support Eastern Security Network, we wouldn't even need anyone else in the world to raise money for Eastern Security Network. That's how big we are here in the United States. One state, not just maybe New York State or Texas, can actually sponsor everything it would take to restore the sovereign nation of Biafra. So we are begging our people, especially our people in diaspora, anywhere in diaspora, but especially here in the United States of America, where I reside. I reside here. I know what pertains here. I know how people can get along here. So I know the difficulties, and I do also know the benefits. For our people here in the United States of America, people in the United Kingdom, please, if you want me to beg as Ada Biafra, I will beg, because this is the most important thing that we can do in this life for ourselves, is to be able to sustain what we are doing and at last restore Biafra. There are other things, and Chief Nice has mentioned one other simple way that you can support us is just go on our website and click on the donation link and donate through that, or call him in the UK, or call Mazia Lozier here in the United States of America. And we will direct you simply to where to put your money so that we can continue to support this gallant man. So finally this afternoon, I know that our time is running out. I want to tell every Biafran listening, all IPOB members worldwide, and any Radio Biafra listener out there, lovers of freedom, that we appreciate our Eastern Security Network. We encourage them because they're doing it selflessly. We didn't appoint them. We didn't select them. We didn't write letters to them. We love the Eastern Security Network. Eastern Security Network is our angels. They're the ones protecting us, really. They do the needful every day, and they're disciplined and well-trained. So please support them. If you need a special letter, we have them crafted, the ready in my email. We will send it to you. Just call Radio Biafra. Tell us where you are. We'll send you that letter. We'll tell you where to put your money. And you know that money will support our gallant men and women. Is this my... Yes, is this my concluding statement?
No, you have a passing shot before we sign up. For sure. All right. Thank you for those very practical steps or strategies you suggested, which we are learning from as well. Here in the UK, we adopt some of them. One of the things we did that was quite innovative this year, while engaging our communities, at the Igbo Festival of Arts and Culture, we carried a pig bank. If you like, those in Biafra land will know about Black Day. The kumkum you carry to appear like a beggar. And then people put in some money in it. We realized a few £100, which was surprising. People don't normally do that. But that also proves to me that our people can. And we were very intentional and clear to them to say, this piggy bank collection is for the Eastern Security Network, for the good job they are doing. So I think it's something that we'll keep on doing from time to time. But I'm appealing, I'm joining Dr. Tina to appeal to our people here in the United Kingdom and elsewhere across the globe to please come forward forward and support the ESN. You can do it discreetly. I said earlier on, I don't know why people shy away or afraid, whatever it is, the inhibition is, I can explain, individuals probably know, because it's peculiar to them, but whichever way, if your spirit is in it, we can evolve a way you can do it. Wherever there is a will, there is a way. We will make the way, and Chukwukadema also makes the way for us. So before we start taking passing shots, I don't know. My guys here in the UK already, I think we know what we're doing, so I may have spoken your mind. So let's go now taking passing shots starting from the south. Chief Ibe, what will be your passing shot for this Sunday?
Dear friends, I thank you, all the listeners and lovers of freedom out there. We thank you so much for having stayed up to this moment with us. Again, I would say that what we do here is to educate our people, conscientize our people on what is on the ground. Because it's obvious, we know that the level of understanding and movement in life of different people are not the same. Different people understand different things at different times and different places, So, what we do here, come on radio and all other platforms, be it on the Twitter, X, or YouTube and the rest of them, what we do is to conscientize our people to build up this critical mass. So I listened to, I think it was the ANC, one of the ANC members talking sometime in the past. He said that it was just about 33% of South Africans, black South Africans, that are fought under the ANC. Of all the population of the black South Africans, it was only 33%. And if you go to the USA, when during the fight against the British, during the fight of their liberation, I think it was about 28% of the entire Americans that did the fighting against the British. So you may not have all the people agreeing to come together, but what we are saying is that what we are doing is in the interest of everybody. Like I said before, that the liberation of the many is always achieved by the bravery and the gallantry of the few.
Right? Very few, the 100 men Onyendu asked for.
Old men, yeah, of course. So
men there is metaphorical, I would say. It doesn't mean only
no.
Men there represents, like the biblical men, means both male and female.
Disciplined men, men of courage, brave men, gallant men.
That's exactly what we have in the ESN.
Yeah.
So look at this, my brother. We understand that. We got it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mazi. So critical mass, turning the critical mass, I think is your personal shot. Thank you for that. Mazi, KJ, please, your personal shot. Because time is flying.
Thank you very much, everyone. Fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom all over the world. Thank you very much. If you have been listening to us till now, that shows the interest and the love you have for our people. What we are appealing to everyone is to key into this opportunity we have. I was talking to someone last week and as a Biafran, sometimes he feels interested, sometimes he distances himself. I just asked him a simple question. I said, how will you feel that Biafra is realized tomorrow without your input? You have all it takes. You have the opportunity. You have the know-how. How would you feel if one day, next week, next month, very soon Biafra is realized and you ask yourself, what have I done to myself? I appeal to our people to please put their priorities right. I appeal to our people to understand that what IPOB is doing is a selfless service.
Thank you.
Generations unborn will be happy that we did the needful. Please let us cling to what we're doing now. Thank you.
Dr. Tina, I can't thank you enough. You're passing short, and I hope when we call you up again next time, you will be more than glad to join us here in the UK.
Yes, sir, I will be, because if you call me for anything that pertains to the restoration of Biafra, I make time for it. Even if there are other things to do, I will make time for Biafra every day. My brother Chinedu just summarized the whole thing. The feeling of solace, peace when you hear Biafra, because that's the only hope we have. So for my parting concluding remarks, I will say this. I throw away a salute to my sister's senior comrades in the United Kingdom. And there are many people working on different things, and you hear some people's names and you don't hear others. The loudmouths like us, we come and speak. But the other people work in the background and they work really hard. One of the senior comrades everybody knows is Nwada Lola Uchechigeme Okukano. Our leader's wife is one gallant woman. I'm telling you, a gallant woman, a gallant Biafran woman. And another person that I must not forget to mention, her name is Lola Sophia Chinyere Carlo, who is National Finance Officer for the UK. But she has a finger in everything. And she speaks and she does all kinds of stuff. So I really want to thank her for her work and for showing us the way, for kind of being role models. And then, of course, I remember Sister Mercy, like we say in Nigeria, that works with comrades, and of course, my brother Sam. These people I know personally and intimately, so I love and cherish their work for the indigenous people of Biafra. They were no Chineke, especially in the United States of America, who keep the candle burning, because we know Biafra must be restored.
And that's one lioness you mentioned. Our First Lady, Oyindu's wife, Lolo Uchechi Geme, Anyanwu Otutu Okukano will be our special guest next Sunday on the special Christmas edition of UK Time Out on Radio Biafra. As I said, it is one not to miss. Come, make sure you clean your ears up very well. Come with your pen and paper handy, because it's also like a learning. And then you have the opportunities of interaction and asking one or two questions. That's where we draw the curtains on today's episode of the UK Time Out on Radio Biafra. Many thanks to my distinguished panelists for coming on, and also to our able anchor and backbone support, Mazi Alozie, Mazi CJ, Chibike, and the other members of the UK National Media and IT Innovation team who helped to package this program to make sure it comes to you every Sunday. Today marks our 13th episode, which in broadcasting terms is completion of a quarter. So it's a landmark day for us, and we hope that the next quarter will be much bigger and better. Until we come your way again next Sunday, I remain your anchor and servant, Ikechukwu Izumokoro Ichie Nwachimeme. You have a pleasant week ahead of you, and for those of us who are already in Biafra land, enjoy your vacation. Remain blessed. God be with us all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Everyone have a nice week.